For this video, I wanted to step over into Iran. Some boots on the ground by a channel called Moth. Iran is such eye candy, just like Turkey or Petra, showing some kind of a melted heat cataclysm. They date this certain area somewhere between 250 AD and 650 AD. Just some words on a page trying to get you to believe in fairy tales. So before I get into it, some other narrative fairy tales just for a good reference. Here's a crude interpretation of what I think history is. You have a single sheet of paper here looking different in different variations, but it's the same piece of paper. But they call them different things according to the historical narrative, and it's all written on a sheet of paper. Places like this in Arizona, they would tie to the natives around 1200. Just plugging random things in that you can't prove or recreate or see, looking very similar to all kind of stuff around the realm. All being cooked out structure, changing to what they call nature. Another place in Arizona, they tie the year 1100 to, blaming it on the natives. The narrative here in California is in the early 1900s, they constructed this so you could get to the top of the bluff here. Well, I couldn't find any old pictures with fake scaffolding, but onward. Yeah, it seems like a good idea. Let's construct this so people can just walk up here to the bluff in this crazy fashion. On a trail in South Carolina, they tie a early, I think, 1800s build or so for this. And if that time period is not good enough for you, well, we've got a early pre-World War II bunker here called the Devil's Slide, California. Looks very logical. Going on and on down the list and putting different years on everything. Also having a little trouble finding any kind of construction pictures on this, but doesn't really matter. What matters is this looks totally ridiculous to start with. But that's what they do. They just tie different narratives to different things, which honestly, they're all the same thing, just like the stuff here in the background. Check out these rocks here. Over here, some more rocks. Why would you do that? They merge these rocks here in case you're standing right here and you wouldn't get shot from way down here. You probably couldn't get shot anyway. For me, this whole area, all this landscape, it's no different basically from what you're seeing here and everywhere else. It's all destroyed structure. I was just giving a reference there of how they plug in different narratives or basically the same thing in my mind. I do want to give thanks for the Moth Channel for this kind of footage. Go through a few screenshots of his incredible journey here, and I really appreciate everyone that watches. Thank you. We're gonna make our first pit stop here. Look at this brick and what you think would be just rock put together like this, but it's all the same structure. Where did all the building go? It just changed into this over hundreds of years? I highly doubt it. So here's a bit of a narrative of the Azad Khast Castle. It's located in central Iran. It functioned as a fortified wall city on the ancient Silk Road. It ran through central Iran. It is the second largest adobe building in the world. Says here it endured for over 4 centuries. Me, you might as well just stick a chapter or a few sentences of Harry Potter. Now, I haven't seen Harry Potter or read any of the books really, but I hear the books and movies are fantasy and fiction, so what's the difference in just plugging that in instead of this? Because basically the same thing. So you have this archway and it's all filled in with rock and brick and whatever else. I have a feeling you wouldn't originally construct it like this. See this angle here? This building went further down. You can see the outer covering still left over here on the columns. The tops of these things too, melted. All this is brick. Just a different heat from here to here. This in the background, all of this used to look like this right here. Thing just got mangled. Look, this is not even level. This is going down in the melt. Along with this over here, it's kind of caving down and in. Still got red left from all the brick because it's obvious brick. You can see it everywhere, and look at the tops. Just oozing down. Look at what this stuff is doing. See, this is what you would call nature, but it's the same as the building. It's been transformed. The archways at ground level here, which is just building level, it goes all the way down however far. See, this isn't weathering. All right, see this over here? Doesn't look quite like this because this got more fried somehow. This here is the blocking up of the bricks right under, right here. And right here, you just got this blobbing over, expanding out a little bit, but the pressure too, everything's sinking down, and now they call this part probably millions of years. And just got hammered, melted down. Look at all this rubble. You can see the faint little archways here still left, at least right there. Here's your sedimentary lines, but they're not. It's the building. Look at this. See right here? This is melted out under itself right here. It's all coming down. This side used to look like this side, but it's not from 1600 years ago or 1800 years, and just happened to look like this now from whatever words they write in the page. Sometimes the internals of the building are looking better than the outside, and sometimes vice versa. All right, let's check this thing out. You have these tiles, right? See the color and how they're changing here? They're getting cooked out from whatever event. Here are those tiles here. It's all changed, the state of matter. Coming on around here, here are those tiles. Look at this melt look here. Just dripping. But now they are all the same color. No more blue tiles. The heat extracted all the color and changed it to this. Yeah, it's just crazy how they have spots, pockets of survival, preservation of just these few tiles here. Used to look nice and blue, and then it drifts into this. And all you gotta kind of do is just kind of step back and look. You don't even have to look that hard. You can see all the transitioning and changing of the building into what they call these pebble rocks and sedimentary layers, but this is just the only part that's left that's recognizable as the building melted. I mean, whoever came up with the idea of this millions of years thing attached to structure and building, what a dumb but genius idea, right? Just confuse the hell out of everybody. Well, for a little while, at least. You might not agree, but see the transitioning from the the bottom up. This wasn't another era or anything putting these rocks here and an occasional brick. It got more heated in certain spots. You can see all the brick lines and everything. Another example of no, they didn't build it like this. It was created from the cataclysm. It might be a little confusing for new people that come on the channel and asking, what are you really talking about? What's going on here? And what I'm saying is all of this was obviously the same structure. It's all built with brick. It was. And whatever time period. And it changed in an electrical event, heat, vibrations also, and it transitioned to what we're seeing here. It's not erosion. It's not millions of years. It's mostly brick and like this pit of bricks here. Look at this. And it morphed and changed into what they call rock. All this brick, it just different spots created different effects. That's all I'm seeing. I mean, for me, it's pretty easy to see because it's right here in front of your face, and this is real boots on the ground. So now this looks familiar. I've seen a lot of these in America in the gift shops, and they actually did a pretty good job here. Look, they got this bubbling rock. I mean, if you really just look at this, who would ever build this? Look how tight this is. Hey, what are they even trying to do here? Well, if I had to live here, my first complaint would be, why is there only one dome? I'd be the project manager of more domes. This guy definitely sees a melted city right here. Look at these little bricks kind of dripping, melting out. The spot looks like it's melted out here. Layers and layers of sedimentary melted bricks. Look at this, it just stopped, resolidified, most likely, from brick to rock, brick to blocks, melted. This guy back whenever, 20s or something, he's like, holy cow, where am I at? Looks like you got an archway here, almost covered.